I'm Charlotte Jarvis. What I'm about, I guess I'm just about. I love theatre. It's literally my life at the minute. Art, being creative, just being creative. What do I think about the most? Depends where I am in life, what I'm doing. So at the minute, I literally had a dream about fixing that elephant. Literally, I was dreaming about sewing it. So all I've been thinking about at the minute is that elephant. This is going to sound really morbid, but death. I think about that every day. That sounds really morbid, but yeah, that's a reoccurring thought. From the age, well, I say from the age, I think it's been more or less since I came out of my mum's Nuno that I have had very bad anxiety. I started noticing it from the age of 7. I used to get these weird stomach cramps, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I used to say to my mum, she was like, "Oh, they're tummy migraines." What is that? And it isn't until now I'm 21. I look back and I think, "Oh my gosh, that was a panic attack. That wasn't. I had a stomach ache or anything." For some and no reason, it is just always about death. It's always about dying, me dying, what happens, where I'm gonna go. So yeah, it just not. I don't necessarily think and sit for an hour and think, "Oh my god, death," but it's like, "Oh, you're gonna die," and it's like, "Oh, okay," and then that's it. It's gone for a couple of hours, and then it comes back. Very recently, actually, on Christmas Day, somebody in my family passed away from cancer, which was really sad. And we went to go and see them on Christmas Eve, and it was obviously the day before she died. And I was really okay with it. And that was a big thing for me because I was like, oh my God, how am I going to react? What's going to happen? What's going to be like the, the backlash? Because normally how I deal with things is that I go and I do it and I'm fine. It's the after. So I can go and I go and I go and I go and I go and then I burn myself out. And that's when it's the fan. But it's been like a couple of weeks and I'm okay. And it's like, this is weird. It's okay. I've not completely fallen on the floor and been a complete mess. But yeah, so her passing was really sad. But then it was also quite eye-opening. It's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. I think because I've not had any interaction with dying or death in the family, she was the first. And she was so ill that you wanted her to go. That sounds really horrible, but she was in so much pain because it was all in her stomach. Um, so it was like a completely different look on dying. It was like you wanted her to go because you knew the pain would stop. Everyone's so chill about it. And I'm just like, why is everyone so okay with this? Like from a young age, I was like, why is everyone so okay with this? This isn't okay. Like you don't want to die, you don't want to go away. Like I'm loving life. Why would you? So I think that's they. Everyone else just seems so blasé about it and so cool, and I feel crazy. I'm like, oh my god, what? But other mindsets, I think other people have healthier mindsets about it than me. I thought admitting that I was scared and that not necessarily, I mean, when I was younger, it was a lot about death, but the panic attacks and um, are quite unfortunate in the way that when I have a panic attack, it's not. So most people are quite internal. They just sweat, they pant and stuff. But unfortunately, mine are very physical. So I've had it where it's like you black out and you literally cannot control what you're doing and you just lash out. I remember once I kind of came round. You don't black out, but you kind of lose control. And I remember I was like scratching up my legs, and I was like, "What?" I came round, and I was like, "Oh my god, what am I doing?" Or punch a door, or. But now, so like I've learned to put up with it more. So instead of punching a wall, I'd do that, or clap or something. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to have some really weird things to stop myself from panicking. I would read the Guinness World Book of Records. I don't know why, just chilled me out. What else would I do? I'd chew gum, mint. mints always help me. So if you ever see me and I'm nervous and I pop a mint, that is why. Watch birds. I liked it when birds flew over. I always found that really relaxing. But now it's just learning. I think learning how to cope, because it's never going to cure. It's never going to go away. It's just it's coming to that conclusion. So I was always told I'd grow out of it. Like, it's okay, you'll grow out of it, but you don't. There's no point beating yourself up about it. There's no point sitting around, and for me, there's no point sitting around being sad or using it as an excuse. I hate it when people use it as an excuse, because from the age of 7, there's been some really tough situations that I've had to go through, but I'll go through it, because there's no point. There's no point sitting around and being sad about it, because 1, it's never going to go away. 2, it's only going to make it worse if you just sit there worrying about it all the time. So you just got to get on with it. You just got to say, okay, yeah, it's like a little annoying thing on your shoulder. Like, it's there, and I know it's there, and it's okay that it's there, but just shut up sometimes. Like, be quiet. It's okay. Don't worry. That's the kind of mindset that I have towards it now. I didn't, but I do now. It's very much, just get on with it. The best thing that somebody can say to you is, like, you've just got to get on with it. You've got to do that thing that you don't want to do, that you're too scared to do, and then you do it, and then you're like, oh, what was I even worried about? That was fine. I'm going to have a boring life, and then I'm going to die. So why would I let my anxiety let me do that? It's weird, because some people, when they think about death, they think, oh, I'm not going to do anything because I'm going to die anyway. And it's like, no. God, you only have so much. Do something with it. Be the person that you want to be. Be the best person that you can, and then die. I've had times where I've wallowed in it for so long, and you just think, oh my God, go. Just get over it, girl. Just get over it. You're going to die. Okay, that's fine. You know, there's this story that really stuck to me, and I don't believe it, but I thought it kind of really made me think, oh gosh, yeah. But this person was really scared, and they died, and they thought, oh gosh, the Grim Reaper's going to come for me with his scythe. And it was just this really nice old lady, and they were like, come on, let's get you sorted out. And they take them by the hand and take them away, and they die. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. Because I feel like English culture has a really bad attitude towards death. I feel like we do not do it well. Like, you go to some countries or some religions, and they just do it so nicely and so lovely. But in England, you're like, oh, they've died, you've all got to wear black, and you've all got to be sad. And rarely do you ever think of a funeral and think, oh my gosh, it's going to be a really nice time, because we're going to spend this whole day thinking about what this person did. You know what I mean? We don't do that, and that's so sad. I feel like when I die, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, I just want everyone to be so happy and be like, oh, remember when Charlotte did that? Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, I just feel like England needs to rethink how they think about death. Basically, I was talking to her, and she was like, do you sometimes think that you've died but you've not realised it yet? And I was like, yes. Like, what if this morning when I was driving here, I died but I've not realised it yet, and then it's gonna hit me that I've died, and then I'll be taken away. And I was like, oh, I finally found somebody that also thinks that I could have died this morning, and I've just still not come around to the thought that I've died. Really weirdly, when I was watching Egg yesterday, I have just recently had a past life reading, and things that come out from that, I don't know whether you guys believe in it or not, and whether I just sound crazy, but like, it was weird how it came to be. So like, in this past life, it was a very long time ago in Egypt. I was the daughter of a pot maker, and then I ended up learning how to make pots and painting the pottery, and my mum died whilst giving birth to me, and she said, you have a weird fear of childbirth, which I do. So that's weird that she already knew that about me. She said, it's because your mum died. It's because you've still got that in you. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so weird, because at the minute, in my past life, her name was Amaya. Oh, that's so cool. She was setting up her own business. She was setting herself up. And I feel like she came through, because at the minute I'm going through that right now. I'm trying to set myself up as an artist and you know, getting work and stuff. So I feel like she came through to say, like, we've done this before, girl, we can do it again. You know what I mean? So I'm quite interested in getting myself a little succubus, because succubuses in ancient Egypt represent reincarnation. And I kind of want that to be like, whether it's real or not, whether she's just made up this big fantasy story, it doesn't matter, because for me, I've taken away from it that, you know, I can do this. Amaya's done it, so Charlotte can do it. There's a lot of stories in paganism that are set in Britain. And for me, Christianity never clicked. This is going to sound really bad, but I always felt like God was a little bit of a bully, because he'd always be there. Always, always. And if you did something a little bit wrong, he'd be like, what are you doing? And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that there was this big God and he was telling you, no, you can't do this, and yes, you can do that. And it was just, and I feel really bad when I say that around Christians, because they're just like, oh my God, God is not a bully. And it's like, oh. But yeah, paganism, I take more from the stories, and going with the seasons and the earth, following it's nice to be in sync with the planet and the seasons. Like, it's been 2 years now since I've been following the wheel of the year, and it's just nice to know that spring is coming, and that's when I need to start doing new things and pushing myself. And then, so yeah, beliefs. Anyone can have any belief they want. I believe in some weird old English gods. If you want to believe in Jesus, you can believe in Jesus. If you want to believe in Buddha, or, you know, you do you. I have no problem with anybody wanting to believe in anything, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And if it makes you happy, then it makes you happy. It's a way of life. It's almost life itself, our interpretation of life. Because consciousness for us could be different to a plant or a tree. Because consciousness for us is knowing that there is a self in the body and around us. But for a daffodil, they might not be aware of others, but they're aware of themselves. You know what I mean? Or a rock might not be aware of itself, but aware of others. You know, I feel like consciousness isn't just human. Animals show consciousness. I personally believe everything has an energy and a flow of energy. Whether that energy is conscious or not, I don't know. That's something that I'm very much like, I don't know. I believe there's energy in everything. And because I'm into holistic therapies and I do crystal therapy, I do Reiki and whatnot, I tune myself into these energies. So like when you go to Bradgate Park and you touch a tree, you can feel the energy in it. Maybe at the end of it all, we decide where we want to put our energy. You know, maybe like if somebody was struggling and you passed away, had all this spare energy, maybe just, you know, give it back. When you ask any person what it was like to be 3 on the 20th of September, nobody will remember that. If we can forget our own lives, we have the capacity to forget others. But yeah, I think it's just energy. And there's not just one energy. There's not just Charlotte energy. There's me, and then there's Amaya, and there's a tree maybe in there, and maybe there's a fish, and maybe there's another person. You know what I mean? It's kind of everything. It's like Star Wars. The Force. You know what I mean? Yeah.